Armanino. I'm the managing partner of Armanino, and really happy to be here with you today. And if you do both of those things, again, sounds pretty easy. Let's streamline the accountant role, make it fast and efficient, optimize my protector role. I will then have more time to spend as a business leader. The problem is it's not so easy, and that's why we get you together today to try to help you understand how to do that. I'm excited to have you meet Dr. Rand Marimoto.
Thank you very much. Good morning. Brave crowd to start off your morning about cloud and cybersecurity. So the topics of cloud and cybersecurity, it's an interesting change. Kind of as Andy kicked this off, is that the role of the executive office has changed over the last several years. We're no longer looking back in the business of what are we doing in the day-to-day operations of the organizations, but now there's a lot of these outside influences coming on. The cloud technologies is really changing the way that we do business. And then cybersecurity, the attacks that are going on, the different type of regulations that are addressing privacy of information. And so all of this is impacting the day-to-day operations. And so today's conference, a lot of what I'm covering in the keynote is this idea of what are these changes going on and how does that impact us? From a security standpoint, I'm not the gloom and doom type of person that's going to go through and say all these scary things and you walk out of here worrying about your business. I'm about creating solutions. What can you actually do? There are cyber attacks going on. It's a scary world in the world of the cloud, but there are solutions. So hopefully at the end of my keynote today, you'll walk away with at least some of the ideas of what the marketplace is doing, what can actually be done in the security perspective. And then the second thing about the cloud is that I have this information available to me on a real-time basis anywhere at any time. And I can actually change the way I do my business is instead of just keeping up with the status quo, is that this technology actually might make my business better. I might be able to do predictive analysis. I might be able to go through and look at my sales and forecast better than I've ever been able to do before. So the cloud has opened up these opportunities. It makes our jobs challenging from the sense that it's not just maintaining stuff, but it's using this technology to go further in the future. These are things that are changing the world and how we're doing things. But with all this opportunity comes those risks, and that part of that whole cybersecurity is the minute I open up all this stuff, I now have all of these different resources that are available in the cloud. I might have files that I'm sharing in the cloud. I might be doing video conferencing with people in the cloud. And so part of this whole risk is, am I going to lose control? What am I going to do with the information that exists out there? We've heard a lot about the cybersecurity attacks that have gone on. And so this is that other pressure, is it's an opportunity to say that cloud is going to improve our business if we adopt it and move down that path. And that's the type of defense that we need to switch to in the computer industry, and we're seeing those types of movements of basically thinking that we will be attacked, somebody will get on the inside, and once they're inside, we still need to defend them ourselves and go through and create that practice of securing our environments and making sure we're protected. But our employees don't always do what we tell them to do, but it's one of those things we try to remind people, again, is it doesn't matter how secure I make that network, firewalls, security systems, all of this stuff. But if somebody goes to Ashley Madison, somebody goes out to a website to buy a pair of shoes, they type in a login name and password that has to be their corporate login name and password, and that company is compromised, and then all of a sudden, people have access right through that hard shell, right into the squishy inside to your financial statements and email addresses and all that other information. This whole process of technology, the whole process around security, is the same old adage that we've had for the last 10, 20, 30 years. It's a people, process, and technology. And unfortunately, in the last 5, 10 years, we've always thought of a technology. My IT department can create these firewalls, and we could go out and buy this $1 million device that can go through and do security intrusion detection. But again, we can protect that wall as much as we can, but if the people and the processes aren't in place, if the people are using their login names and passwords without thinking about the impact of it, if the process isn't to the point where when I terminate an employee and terminate their access to the wall stuff, am I actually getting all the other resources that exist out there? And that's the people and the process. The HR departments need to be better about identifying what other resources exist out there. We need to go beyond what we think that we have to the other stuff that exists. We talk about taking a consolidation. Instead of having all of these passwords, a password to Google, a password to Dropbox, a password to Salesforce, a password to our network, is that we believe in going through and consolidating to one login name and password. So that way everything goes through the corporate environment so that when I terminate that employee, I terminate their access to that one login, and they no longer have access to the box and the Dropbox. They don't have access to that sales folder that has all of the sales proposals and financial statements. It's going through and limiting their access. So what you could do is what we call encryption in transit. We actually go through and set it up from a technology standpoint to look for keywords in the email, in the document, in the body of the text, confidential, financial statements, something from the CFO to the COO, something from the CEO to the CPA firm that basically has confidential, some kind of words. And you choose the words, the lexicon. And so when that email is sent, when the document is saved to SharePoint or to OneDrive or to your Box account, it actually goes through and filters it, finds the content, and automatically encrypts it in transit. So that way, your person in the organization never even has to think about it. They just attach it, hit the send button, it's encrypted in stream. The recipient is going to be forced to type in a login name and password to open it. All replies, all copies of this information requires a login name and password. So the encryption in transit is key. It's a piece that takes the laziness out of that people process technology, that I don't even have to worry about the person involved, as I'm going to do this from a technological standpoint and a process standpoint to encrypt the content, to protect what you do. So that's really the whole focus of this, is that the security world and the cloud, it's a big world, there's a lot going on, but we can control it. It's not scary if we do practical things that we do every single day in our physical world. Thank you very much.